Smoke Deck Theologian here. Once again, welcome to the Smoke Deck. The following is the video from my last channel that caused a little bit of dissension and a little bit of controversy and a little bit of hurt. I want to share it with you. Please, please, please take it with the gentleness and the love with which I offer it. The video is entitled One Christian's Thoughts on the Issue of Homosexuality. Please enjoy it. Feel free to comment. I don't expect everyone to agree and just jump along with my viewpoint. It is a very difficult topic in today's day and age. But again, enjoy. Hey everyone. Okay, so my video, a gay avatar protest, I have a feeling is probably going to open a can of worms that, well, I'm kind of expecting. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of expecting it. So, consider this my preemptive strike. Whatcha? Just so you guys know, I'm coming out of the closet as heterosexual. Um, I have a wife whom I love and a daughter whom I love greatly. Um, I think women are attractive and guy parts are really grody. That's right, I said grody. Whoop-pow! However, despite how I personally feel about the whole homosexual thing, someone being homosexual, let me just say this. Yes, I will be the first to admit and confess I find it unnatural, morally wrong, and an affront to God. However, I'm not one of those Christians that's hung up on that issue, because I also recognize that if you break one of God's laws, you break all of them. You're guilty of all of them. Sin is sin is sin is sin. So, lying is just is well. Let's take the homosexual thing, because Christians are constantly in trouble for picking on just that issue. I think homosexuality is just as wrong as fornication. Sex before marriage, I think it's just as wrong as adultery, extracurricular activities, if you will, outside of marriage. I think it's all equally wrong. I also think it's equally as wrong as lying. I think it's equally as wrong as stealing. Why? Because it's sin, and it breaks God's law, and it further just points to our own depravity and our guilt before God, and our need to recognition that we could never ever please God, and we can't make ourselves right and just before God, because we've already broken his law. We're already guilty. And praise God for Christ, God's own son, whom he sent to the world to go to the cross, to be a ransom for those who believe. By the way, I'm enjoying my JR Jamaican special cigar that Stogie Man 1 sent me. Again, thank you, Stogie Man 1. But anyhow, as I was saying, I think the issue is wrong. However, I have homosexual friends. I have openly homosexual friends whom I love dearly. And if someone tells me that they're homosexual, I generally don't care. I mean, in the sense of, oh, I can't talk to you, or oh, you heathen. Because you know what? In my own life, I have sins that I struggle with. I have things that I deal with, and I have sin patterns in my life as well. And I need to rely on the grace of God for that. And so, if asked or confronted anytime, I'll be very honest about how I feel. But I'm not going to go into some witch hunt. It's not the point. Christ came for the unrighteous, not the righteous. And of course, who's righteous? Romans 3 tells us that there's none righteous, no, not one before God. So we all need God's grace. I'll probably get into more detail and dialogue if people leave comments or video responses. And I have no problem, kind of sharing my views on it, but I want you to know that I'm not some homophobe out there looking to, lynch them up and set them on fire. Again, I have some really good friends who happen to be homosexual, and they know how I feel about it. But at the same time, I still love them. Why? Because they're awesome. And so the people like the folks that are doing this whole gay avatar protest thing, I think is highly offensive. It's ridiculous, and it's doing a lot of damage. Um, because the long and short of it is this: they want us to bless what we can't bless, and I don't think they really understand what they're asking for. They're asking, for us to say that God's blessing something that He doesn't, and at the same time, they don't want to submit to God. So why do they really want His blessings in this matter? So just so you guys know, this is my preemptive strike. Whoop-pow! I really like doing that. I'm gonna do it again. Whoop-pow! This is just my preemptive strike to say no. I'm not some hateful, bigoted, angry homophobe. I'm tolerant. Don't ask me to accept it or to bless it, because I won't. Don't ask me to teach my children that it's okay. I won't. Don't ask me to sit there and vote in favor of your agendas. I won't. I'll vote according to conscience and according to what I feel is right, because I, as an American citizen, have that right, just as you have your right to have beliefs contrary to my own. Which is why that's where the tolerance comes from. Until we can be okay with the tolerance and be okay with being a little offended, we're not going to get anywhere in this, because people are always going to be offended. As long as we have things like freedom of press and freedom of speech and freedom of religion, folks are going to be offended. And you know what? Get over it. Okay? Grow a little thicker skin. I don't know what's happened to us. Why are we so paper thin in our skin and so easily hurt, and just our esteem is just so bankrupt? I'll tell you what the problem is. The problem is sin and a need for Christ. But that's a discussion for later on. As always, keep your cigars lit, keep your pipes lit, and may God bless you richly. This is Michael Brewer signing out. God bless.